Hi guys, it's Steve Roxby here from Maxim. We've just had our Maxim Economic Breakfast, the first one for 2021 and since the COVID times. And our guest speaker today was Stephen Koukoulas, better known as the Kouk. And Steve's done a great presentation for our clients and our referral networks. Stephen, just a quick snapshot. The economy, how do you see the economy at the moment?
Yeah, the economy's doing pretty well. We've got through this COVID crisis better than anybody expected. We've still got a few hurdles to clear before we can be completely sure that we've gone through this, but we're here and now. Interest rates are low. We've got the consumer side of the economy coming back very, very strong. Consumers are feeling wealthy, they're feeling rich. Stock market's strong, house prices are strong. So that wealth effect is really adding to consumer sentiment. So I wouldn't want to be just blindly optimistic. There are still some hurdles to come. JobKeeper's ended. That's a big lot of money that's not going to be in the economy next year, that was in there last year. And a bit depends on what happens to COVID, of course, and we're seeing some problems there. But basically, it's a generally solid view of the economy, a consolidation of that recovery that we saw in the latter part of 2020 into 2021. So it's a pretty upbeat view, just with a couple of little question marks. So we'll watch those, but more good than bad.
Yeah, that's great. And I think the impact that you talk about property prices and travel and so forth is immigration can take a bit of a hit on our economy as well.
Yeah.
That can play out, which it's hard to predict with obviously the world we live in at the moment.
Yeah, that's the one thing that just causes me a little concern. When our borders do reopen and immigration comes back in, yes, the economy will refire up. That'll be a strong thing. But when we look around the world right now, problems in India, problems in Europe and the US still with COVID cases, I don't think our borders are going to open up very, very soon. And so there's not that population growth. It usually drives parts of consumer spending and drives a lot of housing.
So let's look at Newcastle, because it's probably great for you to be in a room full of Novocastrian small business, small medium-sized business owners, and you heard a bit of feedback from them. Sometimes we feel a bit insulated in Newcastle and the Hunter. What are your thoughts on Newcastle region itself? Yeah,
well, I had a little bit of the property market and the labour market here in Newcastle. It is outperforming the Australian economy. So in a sense, what we're seeing, I think, is part of this move from the big cities, so Sydney into Newcastle and the greater Newcastle area. So that's driving the housing market in particular, because even though Newcastle property prices are pretty high, there's no question about that, they are still cheaper than Sydney. And so the cashed up Sydney siders are coming up here and sort of saying, well, the lifestyle, it's an amazing place to live, all the facilities that you need. So in a sense, I think Newcastle's doing pretty well. And that's probably going to continue while people are able to work from home and they can just have that lifestyle versus the work obligations, and that work-life balance is seeing, people come here. So even though international immigration is weak, I think internal immigration is seeing people come to Newcastle for all the obvious reasons.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I guess we need more people coming to Newcastle from a workforce perspective, because as we've heard today, it's pretty hard to get and retain a good quality team.
Oh, that was one of the key bits of feedback I had during the session this morning, was there's a skill shortage. It's hard to find talent, it's hard to find labour. So businesses that have got through COVID, they're recovering, they're growing again. And when you grow, you need to hire more people. It's a pretty simple equation, but there aren't many people on the books. So the labour hire companies and the companies looking to get more people on board are struggling. So one interesting thing about that, which has been a problem in the Australian economy for many years, is wages. One way to get people, pay more money. So I dare say, if I walk away from here, think about what I've learned today, I think that skill shortage, that labour market shortage, could be one thing that sees a surprising lift in wages growth over the next 12 months.
Great. Look after your people. And lastly, just very quickly, the budget's coming up. The one or two key takeaways you think is going to come into that budget?
There will be some cuts in spending. JobKeeper has ended, and that's a big hit to the economy in a sense, because that was $100 billion that went into the economy last financial year that won't be there. Mr. Frydenberg said he wants to get the unemployment rate at 4 point something before he starts to repair the budget and move back to surplus. So it'll be one of these ones where he's balancing continuing the economy to grow versus repairing the budget, because we're on track for $1 trillion of debt. That's a lot of money. So he's got that difficult balancing act. I don't envy him on that one, but it'll be just more of an accounting exercise that keeps the economy growing with a little bit of an eye on getting that budget deficit.
Great. Kouk, thank you very much for today. Thanks for joining us, and we look forward to catching up again soon. Cheers.
Thank you.